Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Anybody that's new, today we are not going to do a Jenga block craft. Obviously you know that by the title. We are going to do a mop angel. I've seen so many of them. A friend was asking for one for a gift for somebody that loves angels, so I'm going to give it a whirl. We're going to get a mop from Dollar Tree. And you're just going to shake it out for the fluffs, and I'm going to do that on the side here. Next thing you want to do is you're going to just underneath spread it out like that. I know a lot of you have been asking about a Jenga block gingerbread house. It is coming. I'm in the middle of figuring out a design. I've already started gluing blocks. So be patient with me. And you're just going to want to spread all of the mop all the way around. You want to just make sure you want to get the top part here even. As much, not as flat, but you want it even all the way around. And sometimes the ends here don't have as much on the ends, so I'm going to move some of those over. We're just going to keep doing that. Now, I think I almost have it here. I need more over here. Just kind of make it that it's spread out evenly. Just like that. I think this one's a little bit higher than there. Once you have that done, I'm just going to press it down. I'm going to take one of these vases from Dollar Tree, and you want to put it right over the center. Let it push down a bit. Now don't use hot glue, because hot glue will not stick to glass unless you buff it. You can buff it. There's different ways of using it if you want to use epoxy glue and stuff like that, but I just have E6000, and I'm going to put a generous amount around the edges. It gets sticky about in 10 minutes. I'm sure in an hour it'll be dry, but I just want to make sure that it cures really well. So I'm just going to take the cap off. You're just going to apply. I'm just going to put the camera on hold for a sec. I made a little bit mess. You can see it all dripping down. That's fine. I'm going to stick it right on top like that. Right in the center. I'm going to hold this for a couple minutes. All right, now I left it for about 10 minutes. And any glue when the vase was upright that was going down went back down towards the material. Just gonna grab it gently. I guess that wasn't gently. And then you're just gonna flip it over. And now I'm just gonna leave it for a couple hours, and you just make sure it's nice and centered. Just push down on a little bit. And then you're just gonna leave it like that for a couple hours so that the glue can cure. While the mop's still drying on the vase, we are going to use one of these little snow globes from Dollar Tree. I already took the little piece out. Sometimes it's a little hard. I use pliers to pull it out. Now, there's a couple things. I know Mop and Glow was a big thing that a lot of people use for doing glitter inside a globe or a glass and stuff like that, and it works really well. It's too expensive. I looked online and it's way too expensive. So I remembered I bought this a little while ago from Dollar Tree. It's a multi-purpose acrylic gloss finish. I guess you put it over top, but I don't see why not, why it wouldn't go in here. It says dry fast, provides shine gloss, clear coating for protection, humidity, and dirt. Well, we're going to do it on the inside. You can do it on the outside if you want, but I'm going to do it on the inside. I already opened it up and it's pretty runny, but it says on the back, it says dries fast, but in the back it says that it takes a while. I don't know if anybody's ever tried the clear glue on one of the snow globes and if it worked with glitter. Yes, Mod Podge can work as well. The only thing is about getting in the, making it nice and thin lines with Mod Podge, because if you don't, then you will see streaks, and if you want to light it up, you will notice the streaks inside. So I'm going to give this stuff a try. There's also this one I wanted to show you from Dollar Tree, this craft glue, and it says clear transparent. Has anybody tried using this with glitter in one of there? I would be just curious. So I'm not even going to use a paintbrush, and it's pretty runny, so that's what I want. Should have used gloves. I'm gonna just pour some inside. Maybe I should shake it. I've had it for about a month and a half, and it's been sitting in the drawer. So I don't know, I'm gonna test it out and let's see if it works. I'm gonna pour half the bottle. I'm gonna see. Ooh, it runs pretty good. I should close the top, but I'm just gonna add some more in there. And then maybe I can just pour it back. You're just gonna twist and turn. No, I might have to add more. It's getting a little, I hope it dries clear. Gonna try it out. I think I'm gonna have to add more. Let me just pause the camera, and I'm just gonna keep doing this till it's fully coated. Right, so now I did it all the way around, took me a couple minutes. There's a little bit of air bubbles, and I think it should be fine. I'm just gonna open it up. We're not gonna be using this anyways. And I'm just gonna stick it right on top. And I'm gonna leave it for just a couple minutes for it to empty in here. So I did use 3/4 of the bottle, and I am just going to pour it right back in. Any that's in here, as you can see, there's a bit in here. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes for it to settle. I'm going to leave it for about 5 minutes. I'm just going to put it that it's not going to, that's totally not going to glue down, but I'm going to leave it for about 5 minutes. And I've left it for about 5 minutes, and I noticed that it's starting to dry a little bit clear. It's not as the smoky, smoggy look to it. So I just grabbed some extra fine white glitter from Michael's, and I'm just going to open it up. And I'm just going to pour a bunch in there. I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm gonna wear glitter for the next couple days. Then you're just gonna put the cap on. Now I rinsed and cleaned mine out, and then you're just gonna shake it around and leave it to dry open. Okay, finished shaking the glitter in it, and it's coming out really good, a nice frosted look. I'm just gonna keep that off. And you can see inside, I don't know if I put it a little bit closer to the thing, oops, that you can see that you don't have any lines like you would do with Mod Podge, and you'd only have to do one coat. So now I'm just gonna let it, I'm not gonna sit it on there. I'm gonna find something that I think it just will make sure there's nothing on here. And I'm just gonna leave it, and I'm gonna let it dry for a couple hours. I'm gonna have to wash that out again because I don't want to, I had some glue on there just a little bit when I was shaking it, and I don't want it to get stuck because we don't need the bottom for that. Okay, so while the globe is drying, I just wanted to show you can lift up the mop, and it's really glued on well underneath. Now when we put the globe on, we don't want a shadow on the inside, so the black will show, or we will get a shadow. So I'm just going to take some painter's tape. I'm just going to put it right underneath, just like this, all the way around. And it's usually easy enough to stick right under just because the mop is not glued right to the bottom underneath, because it is holding, the material's holding by the pins right here. And I'm just going to put that right underneath. We're going to go all the way around. And then I'm just going to paint it with a coat of Mod Podge. I'm just going to use the matte. And the reason being is a lot of times the plastic won't hold acrylic paint. But if you put a coat of Mod Podge on it and then give it a coat of white, it will make it stick, and then it will blend in more when the globe goes on top. All right, so I did a couple coats. The plastic was hard to paint, so I kept doing white paint and then Mod Podge and back and forth, and just to get it solid so you don't see it through the globe. Now, you don't have to do light up, but I'm going to do light up. Just going to take a pack of fairy lights. I think there's only 10 fairy lights on this. And I'm just going to lift it up at the back. And I'm just going to hot glue it. And I'm not going to do it to the glass because the hot glue sometimes won't stick to the glass, and I don't suggest it because sometimes it'll pop off easy. But if I just hot glue it right underneath the mop, it's just going to stay there. I'm just going to do that, and then we're going to come back. Okay, now I just move the wire underneath so it's just sticking out here. I'm just going to put the both points here on each side to left to right to keep that as my front center. The rest of the wire, I'm just going to grab a bottle here, and because the wire is all kind of just not in shape, and just kind of spring up like that. And I'm just going to pull it out like that. And I'm just going to hot glue it. Oh, sometimes it works better when it's, just going to hot glue it down. It sprung up like that, but that's okay because we want that to happen. And I'm just going to hot glue it right here. I'm going to put it right there. I'm just going to leave that on for a second. So we're still with this facing forward. I'm going to grab this. So when it springs up, it's okay. You're going to take your globe and you're going to put some E6000 around the base of your globe and glue it right on top. Now while that's drying on, we're going to just take at the very back, whatever one's higher where the battery pack is. I'm just going to grab one of these strands, and you're just going to wrap it around between the bottom of the globe and the top where it meets the mop, and you're just going to hot glue that all the way around, and it will just actually just a little bit space, but it'll almost wrap all the way around to where it started, so it kind of gives it a collar. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make some arms. So we're just going to grab 3 thicker strands on both sides because there's a few little small ones, and you're just going to braid, or well, actually we won't braid them right now. We'll stick these up first. Oh, it kind of reminds me of a handkerchief on top. Gonna just clip it on top, and then you're gonna grab, I have some of this ribbon. I don't know, it's a little bit thin, so I'm just gonna double layer it. I'm gonna do the gold in the angel, and I'm just gonna double layer it, and I'm just gonna stick this on an angle so you're gonna see. And you know where the part of the vase dips in, you're gonna do it really, really tight all the way around and tie it at the back. Once we have that tied on, just gonna take them, and they're gonna be the arms. I'm just gonna braid them. You're gonna braid each side. I'm not going to do it tight. I'm just going to kind of leave it loose. I think I'm just going to do that side. And then you're just going to take a little, I just have a little hair elastic. And you're just going to move them forward like that. I think it just needs to be a couple little more here. And just for now, I'm just going to put this little elastic on it, just on the front. Now, when I push the dress around out, you can see that there's ones that are a little bit longer. I'm just going to take the scissors, just kind of even it out all the way around. So as you go around, I do have some sticking out over here. Instead of having just a blunt cut, I'm going to go all the way around. Yes, it's a little bit time consuming, but I am just going to unravel a little bit. So then it's not so, I'm going to pull off any little fluff from cutting them. And I'm just going to make it look not so blunt cut. I don't even know if that makes sense, at the end of the dress. And I'm just going to go right around and doing all of them all the way around. All right, so now we are going to move on to the arms. So this little elastic, I'm just going to tie the elastic one more time, just a little bit tighter. And I got these little bells last year from Walmart. They were super cute. They came in a 4-pack. And I only have one left. I can't remember what else I used it on, but I am just going to put it in her hands and just hot glue it right on the front. And also, I'm just going to hot glue it right on her dress. It depends. If you don't mind her arms hanging low, that's fine. Or you can make them a little bit more bent. Just hot glue it right on to the mop behind it. I think that one looks a little bit better. Gives her a better formation of her arms. Or you can have it like that. Now, up along the globe, where you turn the cap, where we left the cap off, Dollar Tree does have lace ribbon, as you can see here. I'm just going to take a little piece, and it just kind of reminds me of, I don't even like a doily. Just, it's a little bit darker than the mop, but I think it just gives it a nice accent all the way around. Just adds a little bit to her so-called dress. Hot glue that on. Then there's still that one little lip on the rim here. I just got a little beads. I don't even know where they were, just in a stash, nothing on them, so I'm not sure where I got them. And I'm just going to put that right along the line, just like a little necklace, and I'm just going to hot glue those on. All right, I wanted to add some wings, but while we are going to make the wings, I want to add a base to the angel. Now, there's a couple different options that you can do. You can add a little tray like that. You just have to tuck the dress down a little bit more in the back to fit into one of these Dollar Tree trays. But I thought one of the charger plates would be really nice. And I saw this one not too long ago in my Dollar Tree. And I just thought with the print and using the gold accent on the angel that it would turn out really well. And it would fit perfectly right in the center with having the dress sprawled all the way around and giving it a nice look. So I am just going to use some Wellbond and have it glued down while we start on the wings. All right, we're going to make some wings now. There's the big butterflies. I don't have one, and if I went looking for one, I'd probably make a bigger mess than I already had in my area here. Dollar Tree does have those big, what do they call it? Big butterfly wings. You've probably seen them. They're just like the nylon with the wire. You could also use that. I want the green. I want to pop just a little bit more. Dollar Tree has these frosted greenery that I'm going to use, and you can see 3 are missing. So you only need 1 because it has, just make sure it has all 3 stems and you're not missing a piece. And we're going to make some wings out of these. Now there's anything that you could add to it. Oh yeah, it's not coming off. You can add some greenery, some, not greenery, other greenery on it. Even some little, I can't get this off. I have this one stem sitting in my thing. I had a little red one. I don't know where it went. But you can also put that in there too. It's really up to you. I'm going to keep them on the wire and I'm going to clip them long. Just going to get some wire. I'm going to do a little bit longer just in case. I'm going to do right about there. Now, I just have some floral wire from DT, just some silver stuff. I'm going to kind of place them, and you're just going to use some hot glue. So I am going to place them kind of like, you got to bend them sometimes. So I did one already, and I'm just going to show you. So I did the placement like this. I did hot glue it, and I'm thinking that's probably about the same. It's not going to be perfect. And you're just going to hot glue right in that spot. All right, so I let that dry for a few minutes, the hot glue. Now I am just going to wrap these. Where's my pliers? Just kind of bend the wires because you can bend them together. I don't know if they're going to be too long. We're going to throw this one out. So we're going to attach them just so it's one easy piece just to attach the angel. Ow. There's a little piece here. I'm going to bend. I keep poking my finger in it. So I think I'm going to do about there. Just going to measure it on the angel. So I cut it down a bit. So the mount that we see here, I'm just going to do here. And I put some hot glue here, let it dry. And I'm just going to hot glue it right on there like that. Now I'm just going to take some floral wire. Now if you have the green stuff, the tape, that can work too. I'm just going to use some wire. I'm just going to make sure that these ones on this other side are nicely wrapped just like the other side. And then I'm just going to keep wrapping it around all the way down. I'm going to make it a little thicker on one side than the other, and I'm going to wrap it all the way across here, just a little bit here because this part's thicker, but I'm going to make it tight all the way down. Now that I have it all wrapped, this will be the front part. I'm just going to bend it a bit, just for a little curve. I'm going to bring our angel, and you're going to attach it right on her back in between the belt and the top part of her dress. Just make sure that you're able to access, if you do put a light inside the globe, that you're able to access it, and just hot glue it on there. All right, so we're going to add some hair. Just going to take some nautical rope from Dollar Tree. Now it really depends on your length of hair that you want to do, and you don't have to add the hair. I just thought it would be cool to add it. We're going to take a piece of rope. We're going to do 25 inches, I think, and it was just almost there. I'm going to do it really long, and then I'll probably going to give her a haircut after. Grab a piece of rope, and I'm just going to look for my little scissors here. And you're going to unwind this just to 3 strands. So as you see, and you get 3 strands out of it. So she's gonna have curly hair. You're gonna go all the way down. Then you're just gonna have 3 pieces. Now, I took some apart already, and I didn't measure any of them, so I was just cutting them randomly. So I'm going to test it out that I'm not sure how many strands we're going to do. So Every 3 strand is 1/25 inch. I'm just going to kind of do it in the middle here. See, ones, even when you unroll them, there are ones longer than the other. So there's, let's see how many we're going to do. I cut a bunch of pieces, as you can see, and I'm just going to try to be like the center, so the same length on each side. So now this is a total of 4 strands at 25 inches. Now you can do it a lot shorter to save yourself, so I've used more than 1 pack. Right in the middle, I'm just going to hot glue all the way, a spot all the way down, so kind of like the split of hair, your hairline. So once you get them all glued together, on one side, you're just going to add some extra hot glue, which I already did, and I'm letting it dry. So this doesn't, as you can see, they were pulling apart when we just glued them sideways. So now it sits nicely like that. I'm just going to turn it over like that, keep it like that, because it's still a little bit not dry yet. Now, the more you unravel, excuse me, the rope, you're going to get less curl. I'm just going to show you here on another one. So on the end, we had the 3. There's one of the 3. And you can see that the curl comes out. So I just want to keep the curl in there like that. You can add a couple more if you want. Now I want to make a crown with the hair. We're just going to take some green picks from Dollar Tree. You're going to get 2. Now, if you just use 1, it's not round enough, it's not big enough, the diameter, to put over the globe. It sits too high. You're going to add probably an extra couple inches onto an existing one just by wrapping it. And then you're going to end up something like this. Now, it's a little thinner in the back, and that's okay. And just try to move the greenery. I know some of it falls off, but when it comes out of the bag, it's pretty flat. Now, the front part's a little bit thicker. I'm going to use the front with more of a thicker piece on it, as I keep dropping little pieces off. And I thought to put in here, you could put flowers if you want. I haven't even dug for flowers, which would be cute, which I'm probably I'm going to look on the down low. But I'm going to take some of the pearls, and I think just wrapping some of the pearls into the crown would have a nice little touch on it, and going all the way around. And just hot glue where you start. I think it would just add a nice little touch to it. All right, after testing the hair on the angel, I realized that this still falls open on the globe on top. So I am just going to do the same process. I'm just going to attach each one like I did the same step that we did here. Attach it just a little bit over all the way down, and an extra piece of glue just to keep it on and try it on that way. All right, so I did the other on each side, so there's 3 of them. Gonna flip it over. Now I'm gonna turn it sideways just so you can see here. I'm gonna do 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, and I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 in the back and 6 in the front. So you're gonna have 6 in the back behind the wings, and you can adjust it. Now you just figure out where you want it when you look in the front. And you can just play around that. I am gonna show you in a minute about the back, so we're gonna change it. I'm gonna give her a haircut once I get it all glued on. So just play around with it to make sure you have it where you want it before you decide to hot glue it right on the snow globe. Now, the little crown that we did, I did add some of the extra tie that was around her dress, and I just added, so just gave it a little bit of gold in it, and I'm just gonna spray it with just a little bit of fake snow. So in the back here, I just wanted to show there is a piece that's opened. Just grabbed another piece, just a single piece, and I'm just gonna cut it right here, and you can just hot glue it right underneath in the back, and you can do as many strands as you want. I'm just gonna show you here. You can just stick it right underneath in the back because I hot glued the front just for position. Just for example, and you can do the other side too. You can stick it up further. You can just hot glue it right under there, and it will blend in a little bit better. We're still going to add something here, but I think it turned out really well. Right, so I did glue it on, and then you can see here, it just covers the wire nicely in the back, and you can even hot glue the little pieces on there to keep it concealed, that you don't see the wire in the back. And I also just trimmed her hair. I kept it long in the back. Now we're gonna switch around to the front. All right, so on the little part here, I don't know if any of you guys ever remember the little chokers from back in the day, and they had, I don't know if it was black with a little ivory head on it, sideways position. It was always came on little chokers. I'm trying to remember the name of them. I can't remember. I just had like a red, I don't know, it was in my stash, like a little diamond style. What I did was I just did a coat on one with just some Mod Podge and glitter. I gave it a couple coats, and I'm just gonna hot glue it right on there, just like a little choker on the front. And I had the gold and silver, and it's not gonna stay until I hot glue it on. But I'm gonna just center it there. I just thought it adds a little something to her dress on top. Now with the placement of the hair on the front, I haven't touched that yet, so I'm just gonna bring it to the front here. I wanna add some ribbon just in the back. I just cut off some pieces, tied a little wire on it, and just a little angled ribbon. I think I cut the ribbon the wrong way on the bottom. The tail should be the other way, but that's okay. I'm good with it like that. And I'm just gonna stick it right in front of the wings in the back, right behind her. It just adds a little something to the greenery and a little bit more shimmer. And I'm just gonna do that on both sides and add the little glue that. And then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with the side of the hair. All right, so here's the side. We have the front part of the ribbon. I'm just gonna take little pieces of hot glue and just glue the hair just in between. I'm gonna tuck a little bit in the front here, just underneath. And then I will go down, I'm just gonna move you here, go down, sorry guys, and just fix her hair that's on the bottom and just give her a little bit of a haircut there. Here it is done. I think it turned out beautiful. It's very bright in here to turn on the globe in the back, but it's easy enough to do, and you don't have to do that as well. I kept the bottom here just plain. I didn't want to add any snow. I didn't want to take away from the dress. So you could put pine cones or anything like that, but I'm just going to keep it simple like that. Happy crafting. See you soon. Bye.